Hi, folks. This is Don Meissner with the North Country Fishing Report. You know, there's been a lot of attention, a lot of news highlights lately. I hear it on the radio. I've seen it on TV. So probably a lot of you know the same thing I'm going to talk about, and that is what we see now is a danger of being in the water when there's amounts of E. coli in the water now. What is E. coli? It's a bacteria, and it's usually caused from waste, from fecal material, or whatever. But when it's in the water that you're swimming, it really can prove as a danger, because if you take it in, you can get really sick. It can affect your eyes. And so what a lot of places are doing is they're closing down the beaches that have been open to one of our favorite pastimes for most family in the summer is getting out of the heat and going swimming, cooling down with that water. But there's been a number of cases lately. So I think it's important because E. coli is serious. And I think one of the reasons that there's higher amounts of E. coli being detected in these waters, and state agencies do test most of these public waters every week. They'll go and they'll take water samples and they'll test it for E. coli and other things. But E. coli is the big sort of measuring tape that they use. And, you know, I think the reason that we're getting such high levels right now is we've had more rain, more incredibly hard rain that is washing all kinds of stuff into our waterways. And even though you may be swimming out there in the river or in the St. Lawrence or in a lake nearby, these can be washed in from any of the feeder waters that come into them. So the higher amounts of water being dumped into the water system can bring a higher amount of this. But it is important. And I think all the times, and I've talked about this before when we were talking about the spill in the Deer River. Now, that's a different thing. That's chemicals that are being spilled into the water from either factories or farms. But when E. coli is going to naturally come into these waters if there's any kind of drainage. Now, every farm has manure that can get in. If there's water nearby, it can seep into that water system. So when I go wading in the rivers, even though they've been part of my life forever, I don't wear shorts. And I don't wear shorts for a couple reasons. Number one, it seems to be I'm one of the rare human beings that's allergic to leeches trying to suck my blood. And the other thing is that you expose your skin, and our skin is porous, so you're exposing your skin to whatever bacteria might be in that water. And even though you're not drinking it, but then think of kids, think of dogs or pets that you might have. They're not going to be thinking, oh, gee, I got to keep my mouth closed every second, or I got to do this. They're all caught up in the frenzy of being able to get in the water. And a lot of times they'll take water in their nose, in their ears, or open their mouth, and it'll get down. And you know what I'm talking about. And it can be a danger. So I think it's good to at least be aware that we have these E. coli warnings right now in a lot of our beaches. And some of them, if they get that warning and if they get the high enough count, they'll close it in a heartbeat. They'll close it immediately. So it is a situation that you're hearing more. I have never heard so much about this as I have this year. But it's valid, it's true, and it's something, I don't think it's something we got to fear in that sense, but we have to be aware of it and use common sense when going to our favorite waters to go swimming or fishing. Until next time, folks, this is Don Meissner with the North Country Fishing Report.